the City of Douglasville City Council regular meeting for tonight, which is February the 3rd. Our invocation will be done by Dr. Stephen Callis, Senior Pastor of Douglasville First Church of the Nazarene. Is he here? Yes, sir. After the invocation, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller. Please stand for the invocation. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, for the privilege. Our Heavenly Father, we gather in this place. We give you thanks for the freedoms that we share and the privilege to gather here tonight. I ask your blessings on these presidings. We thank you for our leadership. I pray wisdom for our mayor and for all of our council persons and staff. We pray your presence with us tonight, wisdom and a spirit of unity as we work together and seek to make Douglasville a greater and better community for the glory of God. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem, for the doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and Dr. Stevens, we appreciate you doing the invocation. Our announcements and presentations, we'll do the presentations first and then the announcements, and we'll move on with the agenda as presented. I have a presentation by Kay Love, Municipal Operations Consultant for the Georgia Municipal Association to the City of Douglasville of a Safety and Liability Management Grant in the amount of is this right? I don't know if I'm reading these numbers correctly. $14,163.46. That's pretty good. So please come to the podium, to the microphone, and give us your name and again your name and address for the record, and then we'll have you do a presentation, and we'll come around and get the big check.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Pleasure to be here on behalf of the Georgia Municipal Association. My name is Kay Love. I'm on the GMA staff. Work address 201 Pryor Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. And that amount was right, and we're very happy to be here to present that. The Safety and Liability Grant Program was designed to provide a financial incentive to cities who are members of either our Workers' Comp program and or our Property and Liability Fund program. It's a way to promote and incentivize cities to provide improvements to employee safety, as well as to try to mitigate public liability and loss control efforts. So every year this grant program is available. In calendar year 2019, GMA approved 125 grant requests to participating cities and awarded over $580,000. So I'm pleased to be here tonight to provide a check in the amount of $14,163.46. Now, Tia has the real check, the important one. I've just got the fake one. But some of the ways that the program gets executed is through reimbursement of eligible purchases. So for Douglasville this year, that meant providing some reimbursement for a purchase of safety vests, automated electronic defibrillators, some electronic signage, some ergonomic chairs, keyboards, and the like general safety equipment. So we're very happy of the commitment that the City of Douglasville has made to safety and to mitigation of loss. So with that, Madam Mayor, I'm happy to present the check.
Thank you so much, Ms. Love. We really appreciate that, and we want to commend staff for such a stellar job. We know that you're great, and you just prove it year to year, every time. So, of course, that was inclusive of the police department, IT, HR, and different entities. So, congratulations to City Manager and the staff again. If you don't mind, we'll come around and take a picture. Deputy Chief, if you get in the picture with us, please, as well. Let's give Ms. Love a hand as she comes.
Let me get you guys to all move this way just a little bit. We can just shift this way just a little bit. Squeeze in nice and tight. Come on in. Come on in. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. All right, I'll make sure I can still see you too. All right. I'm gonna hide back there. All right, there we go. Big smiles, everybody. Beautiful. Thank you.
That's always exciting to receive compensation and encouragement for a job well done. So I will go over. Oh, okay. We have another presentation. It wasn't on here. Oh, this is nice too. We recently had City Summit, and that's where the elected officials from all over the state of Georgia participate with GMA for training purposes. And there are different levels for training hours that you receive. And several council members received their designations this year. And one council member was not able to attend, but we have Ms. Knox is here from GMA, and we'll have her present it to Councilman Chris Watts. And it says, University of Georgia, Carl Vinson Institute of Government, and the Georgia Municipal Association hereby recognizes Christopher Lee Watts. I didn't know that was your middle name. Has satisfactorily completed the Robert K. Knox Jr. Municipal Leadership Institute, January 26, 2020. And the certificate is awarded in recognition of attendance and participation in this program. I believe Councilmember Miller as well, Mayor Pro Tem, received this distinguished award. This is huge. This is like a PhD when you get, the certificates get larger and larger. So, Ms. Love, if you don't mind coming representing GMA, and Councilman Watts, if you'll come around and take a picture. This is nice. Go up there, Coach. Let's give the coach a hand. All those outs. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And Coach, I have your box. It comes in. Add that on your wall with all of your other accommodations. So I will go over the protocol for the meeting this evening, and then we will commence with the agenda as printed. So I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council voting meeting. This is a voting meeting where items that were discussed last Thursday at the work session, we will take official action this evening. The business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item. There will be ample time under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates section for you to discuss your business. Just a few protocol issues. I would ask that you please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. A second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the premises this evening. Only one person speaking at a time, of course. Please do not applaud or react to speakers or speak from the audience or carry on a conversation that will be disruptive. Let's see, we're only required to accept public comments on zoning matters. And how it will be handled this evening is that the committee chairperson will read the agenda item. Then the person representing that agenda item will make their comments. They'll come to the podium, give your name and address for the record, and the committee chairperson will ask questions, and then that person will open up the floor for comments for those in opposition and those in favor of those agenda items. You'll have 30 minutes in totality. Each person will have 5 minutes to speak either in favor or in opposition of that measure. And of course, you have 5 minutes. Give your name and address when you come to the podium. And you have one opportunity to speak. It's not a debate or question and answer format. It's just for us to receive information. And if there is not, the agenda items don't cover any topic that you would like to speak on at the end of the meeting during comments from citizens and delegates, you are welcome to come and talk to us, and you have 5 minutes for that as well, for any items that are germane to city council business. So having said that, we'll move on from the protocol and go back to the agenda. And now we're on item number 5. Yes, item 5, minutes for approval. I open the floor for minutes of the legislative work session of January 16th, 2020, and the regular meeting of January 21st, 2020. Open the floor for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. We have a motion and a motion to approve in a second. Are there any additional questions, comments, or any corrections that council members see to the minutes? Thank you. Not seeing any, then all those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it unanimously. The minutes are approved. We'll move on to the consent agenda. I open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda. Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated. Are there any, do I have a second, please?
Second.
Did you get the second, Assistant City Manager? Thank you. We have it's properly moved and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Does the council, do you all have any questions or comments or corrections or anything to the consent agenda? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is approved as presented. We'll move on now to item number 7, which is Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one item
welcome.
under the Economic Development Committee. That is to appoint a member of the governing body of the City of Douglasville to the post 7 position on the city's Downtown Development Authority, the DDA, with the term expiring at the end of the said member's term of office.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Marcia Hampton, City Manager, 6695 Church Street. You all should have a ballot at your seat. While you're filling out your ballot, I will ask Ms. Littlefield to address what could happen in the case of a tie vote and how the voting procedure would work.
Well, the first thing you'll do is to take your straw vote, and if there's a tie there so that there is no nominee automatically from that, then the mayor will take nominations from the floor, and when the nominations are closed, you'll vote on those. If still no one has a majority, and I should go back and say that the mayor may vote in the appointment of a board member with or without a tie. If you still have a tie at that point, she may wish to take nominations again in case anyone is going to change their vote. If at the end of the evening there is no one who's been elected by a majority of the council and the mayor, then the mayor may appoint a temporary person to fill that slot until the mayor and council fill it with a permanent person by majority vote.
I have a question. So if there's a tie and we take nominations from the floor and there still remains a tie and I appoint that person, you said it's temporarily. So how is it temporary or do we just have an opportunity to vote again in 30 days or?
Yes, at any meeting in the future then until someone is appointed by majority vote, that temporary person will serve.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any questions from the council members? Thank you so much, Ms. Littlefield. Our city manager want us to vote and hand them in.
I have Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller voting for Councilman Sam Davis. I have Councilman Howard Estes voting for Councilman Sam Davis. I have Councilman Sam Davis voting for Councilman Sam Davis. I have Councilwoman Dr. LaShawn Burdanley voting for Councilman Sam Davis. I have Mayor Rochelle Robinson voting for Councilwoman Nicole Miller. I have Councilman Mark Adams voting for Councilwoman Nicole Miller. I have Councilwoman Nicole Miller voting for Councilmember Nicole Miller. And Councilman Coach Watts, Coach Watts, voting for Councilwoman Nicole Miller. So that is 4 votes in favor of Councilman Davis and 4 votes in favor of Councilwoman Nicole Miller.
Okay, so we're going to have great representation, no matter who is who is appointed to serve or elected to serve. So we do have 2, but we'll take nominations from the floor as was presented to us from our Assistant City Attorney. So I'll open the floor for motion, for nominations for DDA member. Any nominations from the floor?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Councilman Sam Davis.
Thank you so much. Councilman Samuel Davis. Any other nominations from the floor?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to nominate Councilwoman Nicole Miller.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Nicole Miller. Any other nominations for DDA from the floor from council members? Not seeing then, nominations are closed, and we have 2 nominees, Councilmember Samuel Davis and Councilmember Nicole Miller, and there's a tie. And so, as stated before, yes, ma'am.
You don't have a tie yet, ma'am.
Oh.
Madam Mayor, please take your vote.
I'll take a vote again.
Yes.
Thank you so much. All those in favor of Councilmember Samuel Davis, want us to raise hands?
Please.
Raise hands, please. Thank you. 4. Councilmember Nicole Miller, please raise hands, and I can vote this one. 4 and 4. Perfection.
Now, since there's a tie, the mayor chooses to appoint a temporary person. She can at this point, correct?
Yes, or she can appoint no one. It's her option.
Thank you so much, and I will appoint Councilmember Nicole Miller to serve on the DDA. She has served in the past as a DDA board member, as well as she lives in the downtown area and represents that ward. So, Nicole Miller, thank you so much. All right, then is that all you have, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, under Economic Development Committee?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That is all we have on the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll move on to item number 8, Finance Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're
We have
welcome.
one item tonight under Finance. Authorize the mayor to sign an option contract to sell the city's John Wynn Building at 8644 Campbellton Street to the Cultural Arts Council, Douglasville, Douglas County. We had extensive discussion on this on Thursday, both in our committee meetings and also in our planning session. And if there are any other questions or comments from anyone prior to a motion, I would entertain those at this time. Seeing none, then I make a motion to approve item 20-044.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much. It's been properly moved in second by the chair to move and seconded by Councilmember Estes to approve the Finance Committee measure. Are there any additional questions or comments, or any questions and comments related to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Finance Committee item is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have under Finance tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on to item 9, which is Housing and Community Affairs Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have one
Welcome.
item under Housing and Community Affairs. It is hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution approving tax exclusion for interest on proposed private activity bonds for proposed 288-unit multifamily affordable housing project to be known as the Reserve at Douglasville, to be located at 7669 and 7755 Highway 92 in the City of Douglasville, application by Reserve at Douglasville LLC. And before I open the floor for a public hearing, I'd like to just say that this tax exclusion is not a tax exempt status. The process is going through the Douglas County Housing Authority, which typically the Housing Authority has, mostly for Douglas County, they do the tax exempt status, and that is through the Department of Community Affairs. Although this is also through the Department of Community Affairs, it is not a tax exempt status. And Ms. Patrice, would you like to make any comments before?
I'll just add, great job of covering that. Patrice Williams, Community Development Director, 6701 Church Street. I will defer to the applicants if you have any questions. George Tullis and Jamie Gardner is still here to answer any questions that you may have.
Right. So do we have any questions from our mayor and council before we hold the public hearing?
Madam Chair, I would like to just thank you for clarifying that, because in your absence in the committee meeting, I wasn't aware of whether you were aware, and so I asked questions to that point, and I appreciate you
Yes.
summarizing that again for us. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. I wanted to, not a question, but just a statement to say that in committee meetings, we were able to talk to Mr. Tullis and Mr. Gardner, and they did explain to us that the approval of the project that was held a few months ago has not changed as far as the aesthetics and all the entities, you know, from beginning to end and how it looks and the project that would be presented. I know Mr. Mayor Pro Tem really helped us with architectural recommendations, and the community was really, really involved. We had a lot of community support. And so the project will not change in how it was presented initially. This is just a financing piece.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. So
Yes.
thank you so much for that.
Right. And Councilman Davis and I serve in the ward where this magnificent project is going to take place, and we have met with the developers in regards to this particular entity and prior to, and we will continue to meet as this project moves forward. So if there aren't any other questions, I would like to open the floor to hold the public hearing for those that are in support of this project. Okay, so I'll stand up at once. If there aren't any, I'll close the floor for those that are in favor, and I'd like to open the floor for those that are not in favor of this project. Or this tax exclusion, I'm sorry. Okay, I see none, Madam Mayor, so I make a motion that we approve item number 20-051.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 20-051. Are there any questions or comments or additional comments from the council members as it relates to this item? Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. This item is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No other items under housing and community.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. We'll move on to item number 10, which is Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
At this time, Madam Mayor, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Councilman Davis. Personnel and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in personnel and organization.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. We'll move on to Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have
You're
several
welcome.
items tonight under Planning and Development. We'll start with item A, adopt a resolution to amend the 2018 Douglasville Comprehensive Plan Short-Term Work Program Housing Section. Was there anyone that needed to make any additional comment concerning this? I understand it is a housekeeping issue in order to bring that alongside the balance of our plan. Any question or comment of council? Anyone have any comment concerning the item? Seeing or hearing none, I make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. It's been properly seconded by Councilmember Watts. Do we have any questions or comments from council members as it relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 20-002 is unanimously approved.
Trying to let the computer catch up.
I know, it's nice behind on me, too.
Item B, consider a request for approval of a development plan for Duncan for .59 acres at 5620 Highway 92, located land lot 53, District 1, Section 5, Parcel 92, for plans dated November 20th, 2019. Application by Barkat Kolabawala. This is a plan to do a rehab on the old Bubba Max building there on 92 at that 5620 address. We've seen the plans. Ms. Williams has gone over those with us and has giving us the nod of approval that everything is in order. And all that we need to do is approve those plans to go forward for them to get started, hopefully right away. Any question or comment or any public comment concerning this item? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve this development plan.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chairman, we have a motion to approve the development plan. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. Councilman Estes has been properly moved and second to approve item 20-047. Any additional questions or comments from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. It's unanimously approved.
Moving along, item C, refer to the Planning Commission a proposal for a change in zoning from R2, single-family residential detached district, to LI, light industrial district, for 1.7 acres on Eastfield Drive in land lot 823, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 138, application by the City of Douglasville. There was some question concerning the location of this piece and some question as to how we came to the position as to why we needed to do this as far as the city's application. Have all those concerns and questions been answered? Any question or comment of council or any public comment? Okay, seeing none, then I'll make a motion that we approve.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. Councilman Davis has been properly moved in second to approve item 20-055. Are there any additional questions or comments from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. This item is unanimously approved. You're welcome.
Have under planning and development.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on to item number 13, Public Improvement and Beautification Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight for public improvement and beautification.
Thank you so much, Councilman Miller in. We'll move on to Public Relations Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. We'll move on to Public Safety Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Let's have one item. Hold a public hearing to consider a request for the change in agent outlet manager for the alcoholic beverage license for the retail package sale of wine and malt beverage at the following establishment: Lifesea, Ingalls Market INC, DBA, Ingalls Market INC number 432, location 21275 Fairmont Road. Current agent outlet manager Keith E. Helton. Proposed agent outlet manager Dusty F. Thompson. Required fees have been paid. To the finance department. Will the applicant please come down? State your name and address, please, for the records.
Dusty Thompson, 2175, Douglasville, Georgia.
So, Madam Mayor and Council, do any of you all have any questions for the applicant?
And sir, we asked our questions on Thursday, and the police department said they had not had any issues, and we were, I believe everyone was satisfied on how you presented your training for your employees to check for ID to make sure that they were of legal age to purchase alcohol. So I think everything worked out, Councilman Davis.
Well, Madam Mayor, make a motion we approve 19-301.
Thank you so much, Councilman. We have, Mr. Chairman, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. Been properly moved in second to approve this item. Are there any additional questions or comments from council members?
We can hold a hearing on that? Or
On the public hearing.
do we need to?
No, we already had it.
That was a public
Had
hearing?
it on last.
Okay. Okay, all of those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, unanimously approved.
That's all I have. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. We'll move on to Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, and that is chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We have one item tonight. Authorize the mayor to sign the 2020 loan agreement between the National Museum of the United States Air Force and the city of Douglasville for a period of April 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2021 for display of an F-105D aircraft at the city's Airplane Memorial in Hunter Park. This is a year-to-year renewal. Talked about it the other night. Anybody have any? Yes, Councilman Estes.
I believe this was already included in the consent agenda.
Was it? You know, I remember asking for it. I didn't notice it on the consent agenda, but
Yeah, it's item H on the Consent agenda.
So we've already voted on it?
Yes, sir. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Madam Mayor, that's all I had tonight under
Okay.
Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Sir, you were
Thank
going
you,
by what was
Councilman
printed,
Estes.
so thank you for catching that eagle eye. We appreciate that. We'll move on then to Technology Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no items at this time under the Technology Committee.
Thank you, sir. Transportation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No items under Transportation Committee tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Is there any other business to come before council this evening from council members? Thank you. Not seeing anything, we'll move on to updates from city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Colonel Dotson. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief of Police, that's a deputy right there.
No business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Shaw. City Manager, Ms. Marsha Hampton.
Just a reminder you all that your retreat is this Friday and Saturday. So if I don't see you any sooner, I will see you bright and early Friday morning. Thank you.
Friday morning, like what time?
Breakfast is at 8 a.m. We start nice and sharp at 9 a.m.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And we do have the, are we going to talk about that, about the ball that the chamber banquet?
Yes,
winter?
sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Julie Kosar in the office should have reached out to you all. If she has not, you all can reach me in the office to let me know and confirm whether or not you are attending the chamber annual banquet on Saturday evening. We do plan to cut you all loose fairly early to make certain you have time to gussy up, as they say, get ready for the event. But we do plan to have a full day for you on Friday and Saturday, and that event is the Chamber's annual banquet is here at the Conference Center. And if you have not confirmed, it's not too late. We still have room for you.
Thank you so much, City Manager. Any staff reports? Okay. Now we have the floor is open for comments from citizens and delegates. If you'd like to address us, please come to the microphone. You have 5 minutes. Give us your name and address for the record, and you are open to speak to us about anything that you would like to talk about that's germane to city business. Okay, I don't see anyone. Then I do have executive session, and so I open the floor for a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss a personnel matter, and we will do that and then take a 5-minute recess. So I open the floor for a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss a personal matter. Thank you. Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to adjourn into executive session to discuss a personnel matter. Any questions or comments from council members? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned into executive session to discuss a personnel matter after a 5-minute recess.